Hello everyone, today I am going to be telling you about a bill in the state of California that was passed by Governor Newsom and would potentially give all of the gun owners' personal information to UC Davis and other researchers. Pretty crazy bill, a lot of stuff to talk about here. It's going to be a fairly short video though, and I will then have links so that you can read more about it. But this one's pretty concerning, especially to me and I think many other people that might have experienced privacy leaks or database breaches in the past. So before we get going, I do want to say thank you to one of the sponsors of this channel. It is Route 66 Shooting Sport Park down in San Bernardino, California. They do a ton of cool stuff and they got some big events coming up. Please go check them out. I will have links to them in the description below. Been huge supporters of me for a long time. We've done a whole lot together when it comes to getting the community together, doing meetups, and raising money for various organizations. So I'm very happy to have their support. Today, we're talking about Assembly Bill number 173 in the state of California. It was recently signed by Gavin Newsom. I realize I'm a little bit late to this. This was, I think, put through on the 23rd, but I was in Vegas for the weekend and, had a great time for a buddy's bachelor party. But I wanted to take some time off from recording videos, and obviously I would be in no condition to do that when I was there. So we're talking about it today. This bill would be giving the personal information of gun owners, whether it's the make, model, serial number of the firearm, their name, their address, and all sorts of other information like that, to the California Firearms Violence Research Center at UC Davis. Sorry, that was a mouthful. I had to make sure I said it right. This might initially not sound too concerning to some people because you might think to yourself, oh, I'm sure that information will be handled very professionally. I'm sure it won't get leaked. I'm sure nobody would ever misuse information like that. And those people would be dumb. Now, let me explain why I'm not so trustworthy. I've seen a lot of people, especially people on the r/privacy subreddit, even some of the moderators there, try to act like this isn't a big deal, but they're so blinded by the fact that they hate guns to not realize how massive this could and most likely will be. Now, little backstory. My time in a gun store started in 2015. And very shortly after, I became what was called a firearm safety certificate instructor. When you go and want to buy a gun in the state of California, generally you are going to have to take a 30-question multiple choice test, and you are then also, when you pick the gun up after your 10-day waiting period, you're going to have to demonstrate that you know how to load and unload the firearm. There are some exemptions out there, but generally most people will have to do that. The person who facilitates that test has to be listed with the California Department of Justice as a firearm safety certificate instructor. When I worked at the gun store, everybody there got their FSC instructor certificate. It was basically the exact same thing as the certificate you issue to people. It just says instructor at the top and it has a slightly different number. I believe it was in 2016 or maybe 2017 that my information, as well as many others, got leaked by the Department of Justice. The government accidentally sent out name, address, and social security number, I believe, of many people. Fortunately for myself, my social security number was not leaked, but my name and address at the time was, and I am still to this day trying to rid that information from the internet. It's pretty unfortunate, and this was something that was pretty big, but a lot of people didn't really make a big stink about it because, I think I was like the 5,000th instructor. So there weren't that many people that were even affected to begin with, and many people didn't even care, even if they did know that other people were affected. So that's when we get into a situation like this, where, yes, in order for UC Davis or one of these researchers to pull the personal information of people, a researching body would have to, or one of the affiliated with UC Davis, one of the researching bodies would have to write a proposal and be very legitimate in how they request to gain the information. So it would also only be specifically tailored to the information they need. So they might not need everybody's name, they might not need everybody's address, but their race, ethnicity, a lot of that kind of stuff would be very relevant, if they want to look at demographics and crime and what kind of people do stuff and what kind of people don't. But I find it very difficult for me to wrap my head around a situation where you would ever need to know someone's name, address, every single gun that they own that's registered to them in the state. Why would you need all those pieces of information? Maybe I'm blinded by my own bias against this kind of bill, But I find it very difficult to understand why you would ever need to be able to access all of that personal information. And people are saying, oh, don't worry, they're going to treat this information with the utmost respect. Yes, I'm sure the super liberal, super left-leaning, anti-gun universities and the people doing studies with there would never, ever leak information like that. I'm sure that the left in the state of California, who hates guns, oh, I know, and some of you might say, oh, but I'm a leftist and I own guns. Fantastic. I don't care. Generally, the Democrats in the state of California vote against guns and are very active against guns. So I'm speaking in generalities here. I do not trust that this information would not get mishandled. There are very big penalties against intentionally leaking this kind of information, and that's good. There should be penalties for that, because what this would allow is a situation where a list could be compiled of literally every gun owner, and that information could get leaked. And some of you might again say, Reno, you're just being paranoid. That information isn't going to get leaked. You don't even know that it's going to happen. Okay, as someone who was a victim of privacy fraud, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, when it comes to the government leaking my name and address onto the internet, because, yeah, I might be a little paranoid about the idea of governing bodies giving my information to universities who are run and organized by people who don't like that I own guns. So yeah, maybe I am paranoid about it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not right. This is ridiculous. I can't believe that this made it through. It's so dangerous to have this kind of information just floating around out there. And to anyone that ever says that universal background checks don't lead to registration and don't lead to this kind of thing, this is exactly what's going to happen. Universal background checks can only ever be effective if registration of the firearms exist. And why do they want registration of the firearms? So that they know exactly who owns what and where you are. And when that kind of information exists in a list that's easy to acquire, apparently, because it didn't seem too hard for my information to get leaked out there, apparently, people don't think that that's a problem for all that information to exist out there. I do. What do you think? Let me know what you think down below. I would appreciate your support. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. Oh, boy. Okay. I am, as you can tell by my voice, unwell. 4 days in Vegas was just way too much for me. But we're here. We're back. We're in the groove of things. If there's something that I missed over the last few days, I would love if you guys would drop a comment. If you see someone comment a topic down in the description below that I might have missed over the last week, let me know so we can talk about it, bring more awareness. Thank you.